Poett. I am your host. I am your guide. And welcome to episode 4 of Mindset Mastery. We've been doing this for a month now, and I am so excited. I am so grateful to have you with me. This show has one purpose, and this purpose is to elevate, to empower, to make sure that you are given some tools, you're given some juice, energy, a tribe to help you show up with a little more power, a little more joy, a little more impact. And what we do every week at 8 o'clock here live, and we are broadcasting live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I will say that LinkedIn is kind of the preferred place for us to hang out because when you're on LinkedIn, I can see what you are saying and you can actually engage with me in the conversation. But we are live, as I said, on LinkedIn, on our 9Q Solutions page, YouTube, and Facebook. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy October 17th. I hope you have a great cup of coffee. There is Ernesto Paredes. Good morning, brother. You know, one of the things that we talk about in this Mindset Mastery course is it's really about training. And I've known Ernesto for, I want to say 8 years. We've been training together for 8 years. Ernesto is an Ironman. Ernesto is someone who has cultivated and really, I would say, mastered a growth mindset. And it's so cool to have him be the first guy to pop in. It looks like we've got there is Terry Stein. We've got the rally team here. It looks like we've got about 50 of you guys joining us today, which is really cool after only 4 weeks of hanging out. So today's training, I promise you, is going to be amazing. And again, the goal is not only for you to feel better because we've come together and we've had a really powerful conversation, but to give you some practical tools that you can use so that when you go out into your life, you have more juice, you have more power, you have more access, you have more energy. So that is what we are up to. There's a question that we're going to answer today. And there is Dr. Lara Ciel, my amazing, brilliant partner. The team is in the house. I'm feeling your energy. I am feeling great. And again, this is about mindset optimization. This is about winning in challenging times. And this is really critical. You know, right now, in a recent Gallup study, the world's unhappiness quotient has gone up almost exponentially. These are really challenging times. We've got inflation. We've got hybrid work offices. There's Mike Schmidt. Great to see you, brother. There is so much change. There's so much disruption. People are scared. And more importantly, people are being asked to do more with less. And I want you to think about this, and this is a global issue. In the last couple of weeks, the CEO of Google, the CEO of Microsoft, two of the world's largest companies, in all hands meetings said, hey, team, we need you guys to do more with less. So the question that I pose to answer today is it possible? Is it sustainable? Because that is our fear. You know, at 9Q, our job is really about empowering people and elevating people. Hey, Karen Palmer, good morning. And, you know, you might be able to drive harder. You might be able to work more for a little bit of time, but it isn't sustainable. It isn't something that you're going to be excited about. And so the question I'm going to pose and answer is it possible to do more with less? And I'm here to share with you guys, the answer is 100% yes. I was incredibly blessed. About 30 years ago, I was a close quarter combat instructor. I got to work with members of our special operations teams. And I want you to think about this idea of doing more with less, because a team of 8 highly competent, powerful individuals can do exponentially more than kind of a bloated, unwieldy, unfocused team of 100. And they don't do it by working harder. And they actually love what they do. And they have a very, very different mindset. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be the realm we're going to be playing in. The answer is yes. It is possible to do more with less. It is possible to do it in a sustainable way. And it's possible to have more fun doing it. But here is one of the keys that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. It is not about working harder. And a dysfunctional mindset that I believe most people have been fed, coded, programmed in is, God, if my life isn't working, if my team isn't working, if my company isn't working, I just have to work harder. I just have to grind a little bit more. I just have to put in a few more hours. And the reality is, if you are operating with a mindset that isn't optimized, more work, more effort is not going to produce greater outcomes. One of the things that we know from decades of research is, and this is kind of a high level concept, but it's a fun concept. We have a productivity scale, super simple. It's color coded. There's green, there's yellow, and there's red. So imagine being in what we call the green zone. And when you're in the green zone, you love what you are doing. You love who you're doing it with. You love who you're doing it for. You feel great. So this is that optimal state of productivity. This is that optimal state of flow. This is where the magic happens in the green zone, 8, 9, 10. Then we have the yellow zone. Yellow is I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm a little distracted. I'm a little bit stressed out. I'm not handling the things around me as effectively as possible. And then, so think of that as maybe 5, 6, and 7. And then we have the red zone. And the red zone, unfortunately, is where a whole lot of people are living right now. It's dominated by fear, reactivity, anger, fighting fires. And this is a high level concept. This is a mindset shift I would love you guys to think about. You can't create an outcome greater than the state you initiate the action from. And again, I say high level. Years and years ago, I did some work with Wayne Gretzky, and some of you older folks know him as the great one, greatest hockey player that ever lived. That's literally he's known as the great one. And I was talking to him about how he got his name, and he said something really profound, and it took me a while to go. And again, this is a code in the mindset of a champion. He said, I would never step on the ice until I had already won the game. And you see, all the other athletes would step out on the ice, and he said they would react to what was happening. He would not step on the ice until he won the game. So what champions do, and for us to build teams and organizations that actually do more with less, I want you to imagine you got to go vertical before you take action. You have to elevate before you act. And it might sound like a simple thought, but most of us don't. Most people, and I want you to think about this. What's the first thing we do in the morning? Roll over, grab our phone, and we check our emails. We move right into reaction. We didn't set ourselves up to win, right into reaction. What do champions, what do peak performers do? They have a morning ritual. And this is, we teach habits. 9Q is all about high performance habits. How do you systematize and how do you scale an elevated mindset? How do you show up for today and know that you've won the day before it's even begun? This is what we're talking about. This is what mindset mastery is. And this morning ritual. And again, let's go back into mindset. What is your mindset? Your mindset are your beliefs, your values, and your dominant feelings. This frame of mind is going to determine your success. Not your effort, not your IQ, not your education or any of those other factors. Those contribute, but your beliefs, your values, and your dominant feelings. Do you believe that today is the Super Bowl? Do you have a conviction, a deep-seated conviction that today is the most important day of your life? In fact, today is the only day that mattered. And are you acting on that belief? Did you go to bed last night and set yourself up for a great night's sleep? Do you have one of these Aura rings? Are you tracking the amount of REM, the amount of deep sleep you're getting? Because sleep is where we rest and recover and repair. And optimized teams, optimized leaders care about these things. Did you wake up and do you have a morning routine? And I'm excited because for some of you guys, this is becoming part of your Monday routine. But did you go through a series of activities that would get you focused, that would get you feeling your best before you look at your calendar, before you go through your to-do list, before you set your projects and targets for the day? And this is what we mean. The data backs me up. So the original question, if you guys came in late, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this Mindset Mastery Monday in episode 4. The question we're looking at, the question we're asking today is, can you do more with less? Because everyone is being asked to do this. CEO of Google, CEO of Microsoft in an all hands meeting. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to do more with less. Well, in order to do more with less and make it sustainable, your team, have to become more. I have to grow in terms of competencies. I have to grow in terms of my self-management. I have to grow in terms of my emotional and energetic intelligence. Because when I become more, pay attention, when I become more, I can accomplish more with less effort and less energy. Go back and think, Navy SEAL team versus traditional Army. What's the difference? The SEALs are more. They're more effective. They're more powerful. They're more focused. They haven't brought into the martyr complex. And here's something I want to chat a little bit about with you guys. Right now, one of the buzzwords in the world is this idea of servant leadership. And it's a beautiful concept. I serve my team. I serve my organization. I serve the people I lead. But this idea has become bastardized to the point where leaders are martyring themselves. They are sacrificing themselves physically, emotionally, spiritually on the altar of productivity. And that isn't how it works. And you end up with angry, burnt out, frustrated, unhappy people who can't lead anyone. So let's go back to my model. When you think of a Navy SEAL team, when you think of an Olympic team, when you think of the highest performing team on earth, when you think of the team leader, they're in the best shape. They are the most focused. They model excellence. They model what it is to be an optimized leader. And so through that modeling, they have the ability to empower their team. And so what we're looking at in this exploration of, is more with less possible? The answer is yes. The answer is, it is only sustainable when you become more. And the miracle, we were talking about this last week. We were talking about the idea of ATR. Your ATR as a leader, as a husband, as a wife, is your ability to respond. My ability to respond is almost infinitely expandable. But the only way I can increase my ATR is I have to train. I have to dedicate, I have to commit to a certain amount of training time every week so that I can expand and grow. And so to all you leaders out there, all you organizational heads out there, I have no problem with you asking your teams to do less with more, but you have to be willing to support them in becoming more. And here's the cool thing. Where's the data to back us up? Remember, we talked about, if you were here for this whole chat, our productivity zones. The green zone, I'm feeling great, I'm focused, I'm intentional, I'm clear, I'm well rested, I have a massive ATR. That's the green zone. That is where I am in flow and optimal productivity. And there's the yellow zone. I don't feel so great, I'm a little tired, I'm a little stressed, I'm a little overwhelmed. And then there's the red zone. I'm just fighting fires, man. Pardon my language, it's a shit show around here. And red zone is not sustainable. Red zone is where nothing productive gets done. And I don't care how hard you're working in the red zone, you are not going to get more done with less. So here's what we know. And there's a 10-year McKinsey study, global study. And I want you to think about this. And Ernesto knows this. Ernesto embodies this. Leaders, teams in flow are 5 times more productive. So what is flow? It's not, we get a lot of jokes because we live out on the West Coast. It's not like a hippie yoga term. Flow, every professional athlete knows what flow is. Every warrior knows what flow is. It's the zone. I'm focused, I'm intentional, I'm prepared, I feel great. That's where the magic happens. And according to McKinsey, executives, teams, leaders in flow are 5 times more productive. They're getting 5 times more done. And so that's how we have these CEOs of billion-dollar companies. They work 4 hours a day. Boy, they're not grinding 12 hours a day, stressed out fighting fires all day long. They are actually hyper productive. They are hyper effective because they know how to manage their state. They know how to manage their emotional, their energetic state. And this is all part of mindset shifting, mindset developing. Can you guys relate to this? If you can't, give me a yes, give me a thumbs up, and then we can talk a little bit more. And what we're going to do in this training together is I'm here to give you guys some tools, because it's not just enough to be aware. I mean, awareness is great because awareness leads to action. Awareness leads to movement. But this is really about at 9Q, giving you guys solutions, giving you guys tools on how do I optimize my mindset? How do I grow? How do I expand? How do I get more done with less? That's really the question. So I'm going to have a sip of coffee, and then we're going to sort of move into the back end. I'm going to give you guys some tools around this idea. Love having the team here. I think, as I said, we got about 50 folks. So we got a pretty full coffee house right now. And this has been totally organic. This is happening because you guys are sharing. You guys are engaging. I'd love to know where. I know Mike is in Orange County. I know Terry's back in the Midwest. Karen's in Northern Cal. Ernesto's in beautiful Santa Barbara. Where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you joining this coffee conversation? And what is our training exercise for the week? So what we're going to do, how do I do more with less? Well, so number one, you have to, you don't have to do anything, but less can never have more. I want you guys to think about this. I have an 8-ounce cup, and I take this 8-ounce empty cup and I put it under a waterfall, and I hold it there. I'm going to walk away with 8 ounces. We got Kendall from Minneapolis. Hey, Kendall, good morning. This is such a profound idea, and it's so critical to this idea of everyone wants more. I don't think I've ever met anyone who didn't want more money, more impact, more customers, more joy. We all want more. We've got someone in from Tampa. Hey, welcome. And it's really weird. 90% of you guys, I can see your names. I can't see this Tampa, although I think it might be Tommy Olson, which would make me really happy because Tommy's an old black belt of mine. If you want more, you have to grow. You have to become more. And the miracle of humans and the idea that I'm really going to plan with you guys today, it's called the SAID principle. And this is critical to a growth mindset. This is critical to any leader who's going to ask more from their team. The SAID principle is specific adaptation to impose demands. And it is the key to any athletic training program. When we think about Olympic gymnasts, I don't know about you guys, but I love watching humans get on boards that are like 4 inches wide, about 4 feet off the ground. And I love watching them flip. I love watching the miracle of an optimized body. So how do we get there? How do we go from, I can barely, toddlers can't walk a straight line, to where you can flip on a balance beam? Well, if you've ever been to a gymnastics center, what you'll see is in the little toddler class, they start with stripes. They're not even on a board yet. And they just have the kids practice walking down the stripe. Then they have a balance beam that's about 6 inches off the ground. And then the kids practice walking on this 6 inches off the ground. Then they have them practice handstands and headstands and flips. And the body, specific adaptation to impose demands. Over time and through consistency, the body goes, oh man, this is what you're going to make me do? I am going to grow so that I can meet that outcome, which is how my brother Ernesto has competed and continues to compete in Ironmans. A non-conditioned person is not going to get off the couch and go do an Ironman. But anyone who deploys the said principle can. So I'm looking at my team. I'm looking at how am I going to ask of them? I need you to do more with less. Well, then I better provide them with the training and tools on how exactly to do that. And so what we've done over the last 30 years is we have distilled the principles and the mindsets of champions into 6 habits that were called the 6 high performance habits. You do these habits every single day. You deploy them multiple times throughout the day. And what these habits do is they change your mindset. They change how they move through the specific adaptation principle and neuroplasticity. Your mind gets rewired and you actually get an elevated optimized mindset. And the one that I'm going to share with you guys today, kind of at the beginning, and we might have time to do a little exercise, which is super fun. But it's the habit number 1 is your morning integrity setup. If you're going to take one thing away from this program, don't wake up and jump into your day, because I want you to think about this. Think about our productivity scale. We've got green zone, we've got yellow zone, we've got the red zone. If you do a diagnostic and energetic inventory of how the world is operating right now, I mean, all you got to do is look at social media or the news. We are teetering between red and yellow. The world is not operating at a very high energetic plane. And so when you wake up, and what you have to understand, and all peak performers know this, energy is contagious. And if you wake up, and I might be I might be in the green zone, I might be feeling great, I might be focused. If I walk into a room and this room is just a nightmare and everyone in there is toxic and angry and negative energy, doesn't matter how powerful I am, if I stay in that environment, I'm going to get drawn down. And so when you wake up and you go right into the day, you go right into your emails, you aren't setting yourself up for success. You're not taking that advice from Wayne Gretzky. You're stepping on the ice and you're reacting to what's happening and without winning the game first. And so what's a morning integrity setup look like? It's different for everyone. We recommend, I don't know, we have clients that do it in 5 minutes. We have clients who actually spend 3 hours. So it's totally personal. But the question that you are asking and answering is, what can I do consistently? What can I do systematically that I know will make me feel better? So I wake up, I have some a green drink, I have my vitamins, and I do a couple meditations. After I do these meditations, I go through a gratitude exercise where I just list some things that I'm really grateful for. I do a visualization about my life fully optimized, which I absolutely love. Think about how excited you get when you plan a vacation. Well, I spend 9 minutes every morning seeing my life not as it is, but as my life can be. Then I get in some exercise. Then I take out my calendar and I plan and I lay out my day. So that's my morning integrity setup. The question and the challenge is, what can I do to feel better? And what I want to do with you guys, this is kind of a part of my, actually Kendall suggested this, and it's an exercise that we took our team back in Atlanta through. It's super fun. It's really impactful, and we can do it in 2 minutes. So I'm going to have you guys do this. We're going to do it right now if you feel game. If you're driving, you might want to wait. But if you're somewhere seated, what I want you to do is you're going to take out a piece of paper. And we're going to take about 60 seconds, maybe 75 seconds. And on the top of this paper, you're going to write down things I love. And you can close your eyes if you don't have paper with you right now. And just spend a minute and just write down everything you love. Big things. I love, I just got back from doing the John Muir Trail. I didn't love all of it, but I do love being out in nature. I love backpacking. I love spending time with Laura. I love great food. I love laughing. I love Snickers bars. I mean, like, there's no limit to what you can write down. What do you love? You just won $500 million in the lottery. How are you going to spend your time? You love travel. You love learning. You love coaching. Just write down. Let all the things that you love flow from you, and spend about, I don't know, 10 more seconds just writing down, what do you love? What do you love? Brings you into an empowered state? What just makes you feel your absolute best? And that's time. And I want you to take a moment and just look at, how are you feeling right now? What happened to your energy during this exercise? Typically, people are smiling. People feel open. They feel expansive. They feel energized. It's a really fun, fascinating experience. Now, we're going to do the second half of this exercise. We're going to take out another piece of paper, and across the top, you can write, I don't know, things I hate, things I will avoid at all costs, and take it and just start. What are the things that, negative people, toxic people, time stealers, gossip, I don't know, cleaning toilets, clutter, angry people, negative news, people who, just start writing, write down all the things that turn you off, all the things that you would do if you could remove them from your life. They would be removed from your life, and just keep writing. What can't you stand? And we're going to spend about 10 more seconds doing this. And time. Now, take a look at how you're feeling now. And I know there's been an energy shift. I know that you are feeling very different, and people tend to feel closed off. They feel constricted. They feel heavy. So let's skip that, tear up the paper, throw it away, go back to your love page, circle 3. What are 3 things that when you do these things, you are in that zone, you're in massive flow? And again, what you will recognize, or what you might recognize, is a major energy shift. And we did this in 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, by changing my focus, changing what I am giving my attention to, I had a radical shift in how I'm feeling. And that radical shift in how I'm feeling changes how you perform. We know from neuroscience, here's why the green zone is so critical. When you feel great, when you are focused, energized, your brain, your neocortex, it actually fires differently. And you have access to creativity and insights and inspiration and intuitions that you don't have. These parts of your brain get turned off as you move more into stress and into fear. And I want you to think about typical organizations. The boss comes in and says, well, team, we've got a lot of inflation. It's going to be a tough couple of quarters. We're going to need y'all to do more with less. Does that conversation elevate your energy? Is that an empowering? Now, what if I'm a team leader and I come in and say, I realize that you guys are our most important customers. You guys have a greater capacity to impact everything we do than anyone in the world. And for the next 90 days, we're going to invest in you. I'm going to make sure that you guys have the power, you have the tool, you have the resources to become your absolute best. Now, think about what I just did. I gave people, I'm trying to drive the same outcome. I need people to do more with less. In one scenario, one leader is using fear to drive what I would consider unsustainable change. The other leader is using empowerment, this idea of really, hey, you are my most important customer, you my team, and I want to make sure that you win. And we are committed to investing in you. We are committed to elevating and empowering you so that at XYZ company, we have the best team on earth, and we take care of each other, and we have each other's backs. And as a result of that second option, your team's going to be 5 times more productive. Your team's going to have more fun. Your team's going to be more sustainable. And that is really the 9Q way. And that's what we're here to do every single Monday. We are about to wrap up our 4th episode. I love you guys. This is one of my rituals. I love spending my Monday mornings with you. You can do me a really big favor. Share this video. Share this video with your team. Next week, bring your whole team in here, because those of you who do this training consistently are going to get elevated. Those of you who do this consistently are going to be empowered, and you will be doing more with less, but it'll be sustainable and it will be fun. So on behalf of myself, my partner, Dr. Lara Ciel, our rally team back in Atlanta, who has this amazing platform that we deliver our training through, thank you guys for joining me. Make today great. I will see you next Monday. And until then, start paying attention to what you are thinking, how you are thinking, and how you can optimize and improve that. So that's it. I am William Poett. I am your host. I am out. Until then, make some great happen. And thank you for being a part of the team. Boom. And I think that is a wrap.